Hello everyone, this is Crazy, aka Why Must I Sign In, and here I am once again in Diablo 3 Hardcore Seasons. So right now I'm just doing some lower greater rifts, but again, I just wanted to give an overview of kind of how I built this character. He's still a work in progress, but I thought I'd give an indication of kind of where you can go. So when I hit 70 with this character, who I leveled pretty quickly, actually power leveling Nuke a little bit with, where'd it go? I just threw a Gem of Ease into the Butcher's Carver, which I'd farmed up with my Monk. So leveling him was pretty much a non-issue. Actually, I found it quite enjoyable. Some people don't like leveling, which I find very strange. Anyway, so after that, I got my 3 pieces of the Firebird set. So when you get Haedrig's gift as a wizard, you do get 3 pieces. So I got the no, not the shoulder, the pants, chest, and source. Yeah, some people say that you really need area damage, and I mean, I can probably re-roll back to area damage later on, but right now, in hardcore mode, I kind of wanted to start off with some vitality. Yeah, you can re-roll area damage if I need to. People really like area damage for the Firebird set, but while I was still kind of building up the character, I needed a little bit of vitality. So with I did manage to pick up 2 pieces of Talrashas while I was grinding out the rest of the set. I do have the Ring of Royal Grandeur. So what that means is that so long as I have 5 pieces of the Firebird set, I have enough for the full set bonus, which means that my damage is increased by 25% for each enemy that is burning, and elites give me 600% bonus damage. So basically I run around with Convergence Disintegrate and just melt everything. And that's good for actually a pretty fair amount of Greater Rift levels. But I'm just doing a lower run right now because I'm still just working up this Molten Wildebeest's Gizzard, which I think will help my overall sustainability. I'm sure that in the grand scheme of things, I might want a slightly more aggro-based gym for my ring, but right now, in these early stages of hardcore season, I kind of want just a little bit more survivability. So I have the 5-piece set bonus, so it results in a 6 set bonus. Have an Oculus Ring and Creed's Flame. This is nice just to avoid fire damage, but neither of these are particularly well rolled, so I'll always be on the lookout for a better weapon. I definitely need a new main hand. I'm going to start re-rolling swords pretty soon, but I'm sort of low on death stress at the moment. This thing is fine for now, but it will also be replaced eventually. And the Gloves of Worship is almost certainly going to be replaced, because it's not very good for Greater Rifts. For solo Greater Rifts, anyway. You want something that's going to be good from the very start, regardless of whether you find a shrine or not. On Kanai's, right now I'm going with St. Andrews. I do have a Furnace active and a Ring of Royal Grandeur. There are other cubed affixes that would be better for this build, but I don't have those items yet, as again, it's still a work in progress. But in hardcore, I think that St. Andrew's Gauge is actually very reliable, especially while I'm leveling up Creed's Flame and this Molten Wildebeest Gizzard. Once the Gizzard is maxed out, I basically no longer need, I think, St. Andrew's Gauge. So then I'll be able to replace that with, right now I could go with Pride's Fall, which would be a 30% bonus, but, really the obvious one is Cindercoat, which is just always 30% for pretty much everything I'm going to do, other than the magic weapon and the ice armor. The Furnace is just a overall good ability. I'm not even sure what else I would even begin to consider based on what I have unlocked right now. Nothing is another option. It's really just the Furnace that's the only option right now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a Greater Rift 18 to let you guys see this build in action. Where that, at the start of a Greater Rift, all your 10-minute abilities are reset. So you need to remember to reactivate them before you go walking out and getting hit by stuff. Not having ice armor up can be really unfortunate. The 2 ability, the you know, it makes me very nervous in hardcore mode to be going without mirror image to break out of Frozen. But so far I've just been focusing on dodging the Frozen, and the overall benefit in damage against elites and champions for Frost Nova is good enough that I've been willing to hold off on the mirror image. See, the thing is that you know, one of my first wizards that died because I had taken off mirror image for just a little while trying out a different build. So I'm definitely not trying to repeat that, but on the other hand, basically immediately melting elites can be also really nice. This is low rift that elites are going to melt pretty fast regardless, but you know, it's a matter of how fast they melt. And that would be more obvious if I was on a slightly higher Greater Rift right now. But since, as I mentioned before, whenever I'm doing OBS and streaming Diablo, I sometimes can crash my video card. I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more mellow, so that if I end up randomly disconnecting, I'm not going to die. And really, the purpose of this video is just to give an overview of the build anyway. And again, you know, Greater Rift 18 is still a clearing a Greater Rift 18 very quickly can still be really nice for a lot of people. The hard part is, of course, farming up the gear, which I actually was in, what was it, like Torment 7, I think, just avoiding death until I had my full set bonus. Oh, and the meteors are coming down because I have the 2-set bonus from the Tal Rashas, which is just extra fun. You kill them, and then a meteor comes and kills their corpse most of the time in this difficulty. It actually is okay damage in higher difficulties, but...
I'm so good, I astound myself. I am stronger still.
Nice little conduit here. Don't want to miss those purple globes. This stuff's important. This is going to be a dead end. One of these two is going to be a dead end. We'll find out which one I chose. Now, this is a dead end over here. How about over here? Oh, betting this is also going to be a dead end. Nope, conduit's gone.
If only they could see me now.
So, like, right now, you know, it's a few parts of this build are, you know, very aggressive and based, right? You know, going Spark Flint rather than the Guardian on the Familiar. You know, back in Vanilla, it was unthinkable to go anything other than that Guardian, just because you were taking so much damage all the time, you know, basically 3 hits and you're gone. Whereas overall survivability, it's a lot easier to make survivability work up through like Torment 4 even than it ever was in Vanilla. And that's on like any character, not even the tanks and stuff. No, speed. I wish these got the 10-minute bonus from my gloves. See, that's the thing, is that in Greater Rifts, the gloves barely make any difference because the things that you really want the Gloves of Worship to be working for don't. That's okay, I'm still clearing this rift relatively quickly, though. And just melting huge packs of monsters after a single shot. It's really nice too. I'm not even there. Now! Yeah. Bane of the Powerful. Yeah, do I want another Bane of the Powerful gem?
I may be able to help you.
I have one up right now. What's this? I didn't recognize that source. But I think I'm going to keep working right now on the Molten Wildebeest's Gizzard. But I'm definitely going to think about that Bane of the Powerful versus Esoteric Alteration. The thing I feel like my damage is pretty okay through at least 25, probably 30 of Greater Rifts. But I'm always just worried about sustainability, especially when I was running around Torment 7 a little bit ago and, you know, basically being, it felt a lot of times, 3 hits from death. Anyway, this is just kind of an indication of how I built this wizard for Hardcore Seasonal so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, you'll like and subscribe. Alright,